And we're back, folks. This Gene.
This Steph.
And this is a special edition of Let's View It Again. Kind of different from my regular stuff. How you feeling about giving the people what they want? Because that's what OJ said. You got to give the people what they want.
All right.
And what they want still. They want more of us.
CDs.
You spoiling it. Let me give the people the rundown.
Well, that's what they want. You shouldn't ask me what they want.
You're correct.
All right.
As Steph is letting the cat out of the proverbial bag. This is a special episode in between seasons, which if you saw the Halloween episode, just treat that as the season's end. We had another episode for you guys, but YouTube has effectively put the kibosh on that. So just treat that as the end of the season. But we're not going to leave you guys out in the cold. We're giving you some little shorties here. And instead of our usual reviewing of cult classics that we've seen, we're going to just bring you stuff that we think would become classics, or maybe it's already a classic, or just we enjoyed it. That's out for things that are out for streaming. I would say on DVD, but I don't even know if people know what a DVD is. But home movie, for home movie viewing, as well as music pick. With that being said, we're going to title these little special episodes
DVD, CDs, Masterpiece, Charlie's Angels.
That's right. DVDs, CDs, Master P. Charlie's Angels. I hope you get the reference. If not, maybe we'll let that cat out of the bag. But today's shorty, we'll be talking about the 2022 film, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It was a great film that I enjoyed. Steph.
It was kind of long.
Which is to say, Steph saw 45 minutes of the 2-hour film.
An hour.
She likes to take her nappy buys. So, I'll give a quick synopsis of the movie for our special DVD, CDs, Master P. Charlie's Angels episode. A laundromat owner discovers she must connect with parallel universe versions of herself to prevent Jamo from destroying the multiverse. A quick plot point of the movie is that every choice you make creates an alternate universe, a new universe, and the multiverse that has been created is under threat from our protagonist's daughter, Joy, also known as Jobu. She's Alpha Joy, Alpha being the first universe. The protagonist, Evan, is played by Michelle Yeoh. She's best known for Crouching.
It's okay.
She's best known for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Stephanie Sue is her daughter Joy. I don't know her from many things. She was on a Prime show. I did my research. The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hadn't seen it, but she was apparently a regular on that show. Ke-Huy Quan is the husband Wayman. He played Short Round in Indiana Jones and Data in the Goonies. So for all my other 80s babies who enjoyed the Goonies, if you remember the little Asian guy, that's Wayman. He's all grown up now. James Hong is also here. He's Lopan in Big Trouble in Little China, as in many other roles as the wise old Asian man. And Jamie Lee Curtis also has a supporting role, a pretty big role in the movie. It was directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. They are best known, well, prior to this, I think this is their first huge film. They were music directors, Steph. I don't know if you knew that. I know you knew that, but I'm going to pretend that you don't know that.
I know that now.
They their biggest client as a music video directors was Lil Jon for Turn Down for What?
Never would have thunk it.
Nobody would have thunk it. How did they get into the movie business after that? I don't know. But they had a great film. The film itself was distributed by A24. I don't know if you're familiar with A24, listeners, viewers, or Steph, but they are a production company, an independent production company. I say independent. I mean, what does that really mean? But they distribute and produce a couple of movies. A lot of my favorites or recent favorites were connected to A24. Ex Machina, The Witch, Moonlight, Hereditary, Last Black Man in San Francisco, Midsommar. All these I either think are newer classics, but we may touch on them later, but I do enjoy a lot of the stuff that they release. I know you know a lot of the horror films like The Witch and Hereditary. I made you sit and watch those with me. So
well, that's what I was about to ask you. Does their studio do a lot of?
I don't know if they just stick in the horror line, because like Moonlight isn't horror. I think it's just where the people go who have independent directors or whatever who don't have big companies behind them. They go to A24, but a lot of their projects are pretty cool. The film was shot in January 2020, released in March of. It was shot in January 2020, and they wrapped in March 2020. So right at the beginning, and we're still in the pandemic, but right at the beginning of the pandemic, they were shooting. So they allowed them to shoot without being interrupted. But unfortunately, the release was pushed back until March of this year. It was released in limited theaters, but it still ended up making $100 million at the box office just worldwide. It made $70 million in the U.S. alone, and it was shot on a $14 million budget. So pretty big return on their investment there. But Steph, do you have anything in particular that you enjoyed about the film? I'll turn it over to you before I continue talking. I don't want to just take up all your time.
Good. What was it? Martial arts, I guess you would say.
Great martial arts, not just good.
Fight. Is it sequences? What
that sounds right.
Is it right?
Sounds right to me. Martial arts sequences.
Yeah, the cinematography was good. Of course, they had a big studio behind it, but it still was good cinematography. It pretty much went with the title, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. They played on the title.
And it was broken up into 3 parts. Yeah. Essentially, the first part being everything, the second part being everywhere, then the third part being all at once. And it's pretty lengthy. It is 2 hours and 19 minutes. But for
not
me,
too far off from everything. Yeah.
No, and I guess that's why you're a sleepyhead, but I didn't feel tired by the end of it. It flowed.
Maybe I should have watched it in the daytime.
Maybe so. We had date night, and that was too much for your little heart to handle.
It was later.
But if I did have a gripe, I guess they could have shaved 30 minutes off or so.
45.
Good God. What would that would not be everything everywhere all at once. That'd be a little bit here and there. Look.
90 minutes. That's a solid movie. 90 minutes is a solid movie.
They could have pulled off in 90 minutes. But I say all that, with the title, it was a lot. It's genre bending. There's multiple things thrown in there. It's a comedy. It's an action movie. It's a drama. And it does each one of these things well enough. I mean, I'm not to say that it just didn't have any missteps or whatever, because the comedy, it bordered on corny at times or whatever. If you like that type, if you like that type of comedy, I don't know how you would describe it. Juvenile. Sometimes maybe. Yeah. But it stayed consistent throughout the movie.
Yeah, it didn't feel out of place in this particular movie because they carried it through the corny.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it, and like you said, the martial arts fights were well done. Michelle Yeoh, obviously, she's experienced. Right. So it fit. Interesting point. Do you know who was initially cast or they had in mind for the lead role?
For
Michelle Yeoh's part, yeah. No. Jackie Chan. It was written for a man. Then they went back and made some changes and wrote it for they felt it would be a more interesting, I guess, and more realistic take to have that dynamic with the woman feeling like some of her decisions led to her where she was, and then the guy, they switched the husband to being, he wasn't a buffoon, but
was it like men usually don't give up their dreams, the women are,
and she had to stay and do the family thing. They didn't want her to marry the husband. I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but so that was the drama part as far as family dynamic goes. But yeah, I like the fighting scenes, which were well done. I like that they chose to have the actors speak their native languages, which I say native languages, but I hope I'm not misquoted. But I think Michelle Yeoh may be, I don't think she's Chinese. Maybe she's Malaysian.
I'm not sure.
I
but
hope
you
I'm
see
correct.
them speak,
but they speak, they speak,
English.
Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin, as well as English, as you would expect a Asian American family.
Person,
they would do that. So I like that authenticity that brings. But everything was just well done to me. Like I say, the misstep maybe with the time it did run kind of long, and some parts you look at it and you say, oh, they could have cut this out. But I mean, the movie has it has my. I would definitely view it again. I do think it's a new classic, man. Did you give it your stamp of approval still?
I might view it again just to finish it. And then
everything everywhere all at once is streaming. You can catch it at Redbox if you still have a DVD player in your home, or whatever. You might want to get one because they're cutting out everything on streaming these days. So check out the movie. I enjoyed it, and if you like any one of those things I just named, action, comedy, or regular family drama films, you'll find something to like in the film. And Jamie Lee Curtis is pretty good too. But the second part of DVD, CDs, Masterpiece, Charlie's Angels is a music pick. Steph?
CDs, we have Jamo by Jamison Ross. This album was completed during the pandemic, so it was released earlier this year in 2022.
You forgot where you at. Everything, everywhere.
It all runs together
all
at this point. So it was released earlier this year. I think it is a very cohesive album. The sound, it's 10 tracks, which I think is great. Usually, in my opinion, when they have more than that, it
starts to falter.
It's all over the place. So it has 10, and they're solid tracks. There are no interludes. They're full songs. So I appreciated that. You hear some soul and gospel influences. I guess you could say those go together, right? But soul, gospel, that sound. He is
colored
singing.
Music.
There you go. Oh, what is that? What's that album?
Is
it the color section?
Oh, Donnie.
Yes. I guess kind of reminiscent of that with the soul gospel influences. That's another really solid album to me.
Yeah,
the sound,
color section. I like it. Well, that was like 2002.
Yeah, but it's still a good album today.
But the Jam, I'm gonna let you finish. It does have a throwback kind of feel to it. It's real vibey. And then I don't want to step on. I'm gonna let you finish. I don't want to step on you. Something you may be able to mention, but it does have a throwback feel to it.
Yeah, some appearances. We have Tank Ball from Tank and the Bangers. Keon Harold. I'm not familiar with him, but he makes an appearance. PJ Morton, and you have Avery Sunshine.
Oh, what song was she on?
She's on the last track, the 10th. I can't recall the name.
I might not have made it that far. You put me on it, but I may have checked out.
I can't remember. Maybe it's one.
Did you ever find out was she from New Orleans?
I didn't. Because you got Tank and the Bangers, PJ Morton. I'm not sure where Avery Sunshine is from either. So I'm not research. Sure. Jamison Ross. I'm not sure if he's from the New Orleans area.
Jamison Ross, if you're watching this, tell us where you're from in the comment section.
Some top tracks are Out of My Mind, Loving You, and this is my opinion, of course. Stay in the Moment.
Well, that's all that matters right now.
They're watching our channel. Moment, and Tell Me You Love Me. Those are 4 tracks.
I love you.
But like I said, it's 10 solid tracks. So check that out if you get a chance.
Cool. Solid pick. I like the album as well. I give it my stamp of approval. Well, I say that. The tracks I listened to, I don't think I made it entirely through. I may have listened to half of it, but it's a vibe, man. And not like the kids are using it. Like, you can actually hear what he's saying. So he's not whispering or singing in British, whatever that's about. My music pick, I listen to a lot of different stuff over the course of over a week, but the last full album I listened to was So Separately by one Freddie Gibbs. I don't know if it's much different than any of his other projects, but as far as to use one of your words, it's very cohesive. It's a good word. It flows in a way that it's an enjoyable listen. It doesn't bounce around a lot. It's typical Gibbs subject matter. So if you're not a Gibbs fan and you don't like people talking about crack and guns, this is not an album for you. But if you do like those things, this may be cool. My top tracks are Too Much featuring Moneybagg Yo, Dark Hearted, and Zipper Bags. Dark Hearted is produced by James Blake. He's a singer. He's a white man. I did not know he did hip-hop production. But reading the liner notes, which are now available in Tidal. If you have Tidal, check that out. He also did Element by Kendrick Lamar. Interesting fact. That's what the show is about. That is what DVD, CDs, Master P, Charlie's Angels is about as well. Zipper Bags, produced by K Tronada, one of my newer favorite producers. The track itself doesn't sound like a K Tronada track. I mean, he's, I don't know what you call it, house-ish, electronic, but it's not that. But it does have a Pimp C sample, and if you know anything about me, I am chief and
Of the Pimp C fan.
Correct. So I'm always happy when Gibbs get in this Pimp C bag. As far as if I had to outside of rap pick, I'll probably tell people to check out. I don't even know if I suggest the whole album, but Kirby, I'll put her picture here. Is a singer, and she has a song called "Break Her Heart" for me that I've been listening to on repeat a bunch. Steph has heard me listen to it a lot. I don't know if it touches a special place in my heart. I don't know. I don't think I feel a connection to it, but it's a nice little ditty, man. Yeah, she's singing too, but I didn't listen to the full album to give it a stamp of approval. But check out the song Kirby, "Break Her Heart" for me. Freddie Gibbs, So Separately. Jamo by Jamison Ross. And our movie pick, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Get out there and enjoy that stuff, man. This was DVD, CDs, Masterpiece, Charlie's Angels, a subset of Let's View It Again Network. I'm Gene.
I'm Steph.
And we'll see y'all next time.
See y'all.
Just getting good.